Everybody, we are back with another review, and today we got a pickup from my Marvel line. It's one of my favorite characters from the Marvel line, and today we're going to be checking them out, the original Pops, taking them out the box, and checking the figures out. So, without further ado, let's hop right into this review, because today we are checking out Venom number 82, and we're going to be checking out Venom 373. So both black Venoms, one's leaping, one's standing, and both are exclusives. One's a Walgreens and one's a collector core. So these are, like I said, Venom is by far probably one of the leading characters that I followed the most in the comic book sagas, if you would. I liked Venom a lot. I liked Hulk, I liked Thor, I liked a lot of the classic characters, if you would. But, oh, nice. This one is, oh yeah, this is the one I got from Sin. That's right. This is the leaping one. This is actually one of the first Venom Pops that I actually got in my collection, is the Collector Core Venom. So this is an exclusive to the Marvel Venom line, which was something that I believe started out kind of like with some movie Pops, and then it kind of just evolved into like this Venomized line, which is all right, whatever, I don't care. Because they did the Cletus one, Cletus Cassidy as Carnage, which is like a scene from like a teaser for Venom 2, and then they did Eddie Brock turning into Venom, which is pretty cool. And then we got this as just straight up Venom, but you know, it's an exclusive to that line, and I'll show you the wave here in a second if it has it on the back. I don't remember, but this is a card from Sin and a Sindan slap right there. Pretty cool. Thank you, Sin. And then here is the first wave. So there were multiple waves of the Venomized line, and then they hopped into the comic, the comic line, which was Maximum Venom, which is really awesome. Those are some pretty sick pops in that wave as well. But the first wave had this exclusive, Eddie Brock turning into Venom, Venomized Captain America, Venomized Iron Man, Carnage, Cletus Cassidy turning into Carnage, and then you had Venomized Hulk, which is one of my favorite Pops of all time. Well, besides my Freddy Funko as Venom, Venomized Hulk is, and I also have Venomized Red Hulk, which both those two Pops are probably those are probably my favorite Pops. The Freddy Funko as Venom is sick in itself just because of what it is, but art-wise, sculpt-wise, Venomized Hulk is killer, absolutely killer. The teeth aren't painted on, the teeth are actually separate pieces that are glued in. The tongue is a separate piece. All the tentacles and the symbiote slime is all separate pieces. They did a superb sculpt job with that. Like the Venomized Green Goblin could have been that. It could have been better than the Venomized Hulk, but they chose to like paint all the stuff on his face. It just looks, it had a cheap quality to it, and it was something that I wasn't expecting to get from that Hot Topic exclusive one. Still a sick pop. I'm still having it in my collection. It's an awesome pop. But I was just kind of disappointed with the teeth and the mouth on that one. I think they could have done it a little better, like they did with the Hulk. So this is going to be classic comic Venom leaping. This is leaping Venom. Now, I have unboxed this pop before, and I know that this one has a removable base. Now, this pop is a 2018 pop, dropped in the collector core, and it's a sick pop. Obviously, it doesn't stand on its own, but this is amazing how they didn't do the base attached. Now, there have been multiple Spider-Man pops that I have got since this pop was dropped, and all of them have the little arching base, because most of the Spider-Man ones I have, he's in like a jumping pose, and this is always glued into their back. And I don't know if this was meant to be glued in, and particularly this one wasn't, but I think this one is a pop that doesn't have the base that's glued onto him. So I think that's awesome how they did it like that. I know you need the base to basically make him functional, and to kind of, well, and to get him to stand, if I can get it in there, and to get him to stand. There we go. So it's pretty tight. It's a snug fit, but it's nice. You don't have to jam it all the way in there. You can just get a little bit of the tip in there, and it's more than enough to hold him on there so that he can stand by himself. And you don't really see the bases on some of these leaping or flying Funko Pops that they do like this. Iron Mans and Spider-Mans straight out the gate. Those are the ones I'm thinking about, especially the ones that are in my collection for sure. I like the tongue on this one. It's a separate piece. Again, I like how I did that. But you can see my example right here. You can see how the teeth are not a separate piece, but these are they're kind of painted on. They kind of I don't know, they kind of take away a little bit from it, but the teeth itself is a little bit different than the Venomized Green Goblin, because these actually are like 3D. The Venomized Green Goblin one is just like flat, but got that classic Venom face. Again, one of my favorite characters from the Marvel saga, and I love how it has the blue veins just popping out on the suit. Like, he is just raging right now, ready to just feast and pounce. I mean, this Venom pop, I would say, is probably one of my favorite pops that they have dropped from actual Venom himself as a comic character. Well, I take that back. The comic moment with Spider-Man, Venom vs. Spider-Man, the FYE one, or I should say the PX exclusive one, which I got from FYE, is probably one of my favorite pops of all time right now. But I like this one a lot, and this is going to be the classic Venom as well in the black suit. They did a blue suit variant of this from Hot Topic, which had a little bit of a different look to it. It had a little bit of stance. I think he was kind of like off to his side. Here's the wave from this one right here. Let's check this out. You got black suit Spider-Man, and then you got Spider-Man 2099, which is an amazing pop. I believe they have a metallic version of this one. We got Punisher, which that's an awesome one. We have that one in the collection. We have Venom, which is the one we're about to unbox here. So pretty cool on that. It took them 82 Marvel pops to figure out they needed to make a Venom. And this is a 2016 pop, so we're gonna just be a little more careful with this one right here, because it's a good. It's got one of those older boxes that are a little bit more flimsy than the ones that you're used to nowadays, which have a little bit heavier cardstock, if you would. So here's that standard hunch stance from most Funko Pop figures. It has that kind of like hunch down stance, and the legs are kind of always very similar, but it just has the Venom hands and the Venom paint job, and then the head obviously is Venom. But I mean, this could basically be any comic book character if you didn't see the hands and the paint job on this one. So I definitely think it's a little bit of a different type of pop versus the more stylized versions of Venom. I think the classic comic Venom, the black suit one, I'm glad they made it, because I'm glad I was able to grab this one that they dropped through Walgreens, which is probably one of the worst places to get exclusives from, because they're hard to get and they're usually damaged. So whether it's getting shipped or picking them up off the shelf, you're usually going to get a damaged pop from Walgreens, which is, it is what it is. It's very hard to get mint stuff from them, but you can see a little bit of a difference here. This is the reason why I brought these two in for this video, to kind of wrap this up a little bit. The difference in the stylized direction they're going with the pops. You have the classic staunch stance, which I did crank this head down on this one. This one's a little bit more bobbly over here. He has a little more of a pronounced chin. But this pop right here is the kind I'm always talking about, with the staunch stance and how they're always moving towards this new stylized versions of the pops. And I totally dig it. I love how they're doing this, the direction they're going with the new versions of the pops. And I think that them reimagining and re-releasing pops that they've already released, and with a different stylized pose, like the Masters of the Universe line, for example, I think that's going to be something that is going to get people who didn't get on board originally to get on board now with the new kind of re-releases, if you would, or rehashes of the pops, if they don't want to spring for some of the older ones. The Thing is one of the ones that's coming to mind, because there was the classic Thing that they did. I don't have the back wave. It would be on that Marvel box, but it's not. It's like Thing is number 9 in the Pop Marvel line, and the original one just kind of looks, I mean, it looks like a Funko Pop Thing. It doesn't look like it looks like a Funko Pop Thing. It doesn't look like a Thing Funko Pop, if that makes sense. The new Fantastic Four ones that they dropped with Thing in it, that's comic Thing. That's the Thing Funko Pop. You know what I'm saying? This is like a Funko Pop Venom, because it's a Funko Pop that's like got a Venom paint job and a Venom tongue. This is a Venom Funko Pop. You get what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. But they re-released the Thing, and the Thing looks awesome. It looks like the comic book The Thing. And the original one, like I said, it's like a Funko Pop that's themed The Thing. And they did a gray one and whatnot. But anyway, I hope that was a little bit of a example there of the things I'm always talking about when I'm doing my videos and I'm going through the pops, and I'm always talking about that classic stance versus the new reimagined. Perfect example right here. So why don't you let me know down in the comments below what you think of my two Venom pops, Venom number 82, Venom number 373, and what do you think of my little theory or example here in regards to the classic versus the reimagined pops, how they're kind of stepping their game up a little bit. Why don't you let me know down in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want more content like this, subscribe for more, because I do reviews every single day, so look out for that, and have a great rest of your day.